Good afternoon. Welcome to another Parks Alliance read along. We had a really fun day yesterday. Fun and productive day. We had 4 live broadcasts, and the last one was this one that was hosted by me and by Jack, our intern. That was our trivia. Then we had a lot of other stuff. I'm going to take this, pull this veil away, and then Lula will tell you actually about the other 3 things we did that there. The trivia was a lot of fun, though the other ones were, wow, it had some amazing engagement. So Lula, what do we do?
You caught me looking at my phone, so sharing the link for today's reading with everyone.
We're always multitasking here.
Hi, everyone. Yes, we had a busy day yesterday. My goodness, first let me just say Steve did an amazing job producing a full day of screen time. We were interacting with our audience in different ways. We had a conversation with city council members at 12 o'clock. It was a great dialogue about the budget. There we go. Just the state of our city right now and what direction we're going in, and the hearing that's coming up on May 26th, which, if you're interested, you can submit your testimony. And then at 2 o'clock, we had a conversation with Catherine from Parks and Recreation, just questions about after school programming, again, what does the summer look like, and also food availability. And that was very exciting. We chatted with her for a good hour. And 3 o'clock or 3:30. Oh, here we go. And then 5 o'clock, we had our read along with one of our recreation center leaders, which was super exciting. And we had her daughter join us. So that was super exciting.
That was awesome. Kelsey was great. She was a great reader. She obviously had a lot of experience reading to kids, not just hers, but other kids. So she really missed her family there at Furco Playground. But she stayed in contact with them. Isn't that great, the way she's doing that?
She did. So she talked about she does her virtual art program on Mondays. And she shared that even her older kids are showing up just to hang out and connect with other friends. So which goes to show that how much we're missing our human connection as just human beings. So Kelsey, we're super grateful for you for joining us yesterday.
And we'll be bringing more. Absolutely. We'll be bringing more Parks and Rec staff and volunteers on. So if you know a rec leader, you know someone that's on a recreation advisory committee, a park advisory committee, that's someone who's a volunteer or staff member who is maybe they're missing reading to kids, and maybe they want to be able to do that, and they would let them just get them in touch with us. So you can L DeFersha at philipparks.org is Lula's address there, just her first initial and then her name at philipparks.org. Mm-hmm. And you can also contact us through direct message through Facebook, through Instagram, through YouTube, through Twitter. And that's easier for you there too. So it was really exciting to see all the great engagement we had. Lots and lots of questions, lots of support. And we were really grateful to the council members were fantastic. Council member Gautier, council member Thomas were just awesome. And they both have a strong history with Parks and Rec and really care a lot and really did a lot. And then Catherine Lovell was just fantastic. She answered some pretty difficult questions that we posed her. That we gave her from the audience posed, and she answered those and very honestly, very forthrightly, and knowing that she had some of the answers, but of course none of us has all the answers. So it was really great. You can go back to those recordings. The easiest way to find those now is to go to YouTube. But then the second easiest way, if you want to follow us on Facebook or YouTube, is to go to our website, which I'm going to pop right up here. And the one there, that is philipparks.org. If you go there, it's where we don't have a very exciting website. We're all about just getting information across to you. We'll make it look prettier later on. We have some more time. But you can go there and check it out, and also on all of our various social media. So definitely all of those broadcasts are worth going back and checking again. And really, if you want to know what's happening with the Philadelphia Parks and Recreation, the best 2 hours you could possibly spend are watching the Q&A session where Lula and our executive director Alex posed questions to the council members, and the one where they posed questions to Catherine Lovell, the commissioner of Philadelphia Parks and Rec Department.
Yeah, that was super exciting. I had a great time with that dialogue with both city council member and also with Commissioner Catherine. So that was pretty cool. So I'm super excited for today's reading. Mm-hmm. I'm super excited about the book and our author and the conversation that we are going to have. If you just joined us, please let us know where you are watching from in the comment section.
And please hit that share button too and tag your friends, because even if they can't watch now, if they come later on, they'll watch the broadcast in the very beginning. So that they won't miss a thing even if they're not available right now. So please share that. And is it time to bring our guest on?
Yes, we should bring our guest on Amy.
And here we go. Welcome.
Oh, here we go. Oh, we can't see
you. I think you've seen your video seems to be frozen now. Let's see here.
We're having technical difficulties.
Well, let's see. Often what works, like any kind of tech thing, is the turning it off and on again. Not really turning off your device yet, but try. We're going to try leave. There we go. Leaving and coming back to the studio often works there and refreshes these little tech issues. And that's one of those things we have to roll with here. That it's going to work well most of the time, but there will be definitely technical issues that we will be able to take care of as they come up. So in a couple seconds or a couple minutes, however long it takes, we'll bring her back. It's going to be a very exciting author. And I think I was looking at her website, which we have put in the comments. You can check it out there. And I will show you how to reach her online. Let's actually just not scroll this banner, but let's just put it up here so you can see it not rolling. And that'll give you a chance to see how you can find her online. And there we go. So her name, you can just go directly to the name there, Thalia Elie, and you can also go to her Here We Go CurlyGirlsAdventures.com, which again is a long one, but an easy one to remember because it's very catchy. So that's down in the comments there. You can check that as our very first comment and take a look at the website. Follow her on social media. She has a really neat Instagram presence with some really cool stuff up there. I was looking at her Instagram account before, and we can even go over there and show a few things from her Instagram account in a little bit here. But why don't you tell us some more about what we learned yesterday, Lula?
Let's see. So much information. I think the first conversation that we had with city council members, we talked just learning about the budget process and what that looks like. Initially, we were supposed to have the budget hearing like somewhere in April before the not April.
Something I don't remember the day was.
And before the pandemic. So it's a lot of shifting that happened and a lot of cut that's occurring, not just in the Parks and Recreation, but also in different departments all over Philadelphia. So the conversation was very insightful about how do we move forward from here? What does it look like a year from now, like 2 months from now? What does it look like when we have the hearing on May 26th? When City Council has to approve or make some adjustments to the proposed budget? And how do we move forward? So I think it's a lot of anxiety that's been built up right now in our city because cuts are occurring from so many different directions, and everyone is worried about their program, rightfully so, right? And how do we feed our kids this summer? Usually we have a lot of summer programs, summer camps that a lot of families rely on to make sure their kids are staying productive, fed, and learning and growing as young adults. So what does that look like? That conversation was very insightful with city council members. And it's recorded, so you can rewatch it whenever you like.
And speaking of a recording you can watch, we were watching just before this, there was a conversation with Parks and Rec and the Fairmount Park Conservancy and someone works with parks in, I believe it was Memphis. Was that correct? Memphis. So it's people, of course, all around the country are dealing with all these issues. And we have one of our regular guests from not guests but audience members from Florida was saying that the senior center she works with there is opening as a summer camp. So I'd be curious if you want to put in the comments how they're figuring that out. How are they figuring out the physical distancing in the camp? Because we are not looking to be doing that as maybe as not as soon as that, I don't think here. But so I'm curious to see what type of plans they have to work with that. If you want to mention that, that'd be great. But in the meantime, let's go pull up the Instagram of our guest here as she's probably restarting her phone or computer there, and we'll just take a look here because she has really nice stuff, and she shares a lot of things that are from herself, but also with a lot of other guests. So it's really interesting to see. Let me go and add that to the stream here. There we go. Excellent. And so we're going to just sort of scroll up here a little bit and just sort of see really cool imagery. And she shares a lot of photos of herself and other things and affirmations, but also a lot of other ones from other artists, other writers, other inspirational people from around the country and the world. So just some fun stuff. You can see what people are doing with masks. That's kind of let's see the really cool mask art there. I have a bunch of different colored masks myself as they're becoming part of our outfits. There's something here. So definitely check out her Instagram. We'll scroll up here again so you can see the top here and get that name. And we will hopefully have her back in a minute or two.
Yeah, so if you just joined us, we're just having some technical difficulties.
Here we go.
We're trying to connect with Thalia right now.
And hello, welcome back. We were just showing your Instagram page, your awesome Instagram page with all the great content that you create and all the wonderful ones you share from your communities. That is really, really cool. So now you can I'm just going to pop back in the studio here to so we can connect with all the folks online, and then we'll let you guys chat. See you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and thank you everyone for being patient with us as we are navigating this virtual world, just working things out, and internet connections always happen. But anyways, welcome. We're so excited to have you, Thalia, and we were just roaming through your Instagram page, just kind of show people who you are and the things that you are passionate about. So hopefully you don't mind.
No, I don't mind it at all. I mean, I am open about my life. I think vulnerability is one of our greatest strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And I think love is the path that we use. So those are the two things that I try to put out, in awareness where there's an abundance of love, a lack of love, and paths to that. So that's pretty much everything I'm about. That's pretty much what you'll find on my Instagram page.
Yes, and it speaks that, which I enjoyed. It's very colorful. And you cover a lot of different cultures, right? What's currently occurring, like in our own community, but also I saw that you shared. She's one of my favorite Instagrammers. She does the vegan food. Her name. Yes. I saw that on your Instagram page. I love her. I love her energy. Yes. But let's talk about you. I'm super excited today because we get to talk about curly hair. Which so tell us about your background and then the inspiration behind this book.
Well, I'm a multi-ethnic curly girl. My mother is Latina, my father is West Indian, and growing up feeling like when I stepped out into the world, it was not Haiti, it was not Panama, it was not Costa Rica. You felt the difference between America and your family homeland. I felt the difference when I started to do hair to pay for school, when I would do little curly girls' hair, and it felt like they stepped into another world too, where they came into a world in the hair salon where it was difficult to understand how to maintain your hair. And the storylines that curly girls were getting about their hair weren't affirming. It made you feel distant from your root and your culture. So I wanted to rebrand our curly girl experience and rebrand Hair Time and highlight the amazing stuff of Africa. So I decided to create an adventure book where the main character is a curly girl named Zoe, and she goes all over Africa gathering treasures that are our stories and that are our lifeline. And she meets all these great people, but every place that she goes in the story is a real place. Mm-hmm. I really want to show the magic of Africa is real.
Yes, it is. As an African woman, I remember when my family moved here to America, and obviously having curly hair, I remember asking my mom, "Can I perm it?" She was like, "Absolutely not. Like, you would not relax your hair," and just being able to embrace your natural hair and just celebrate who you are, which I love the message that you are sharing in your book, especially starting with younger kids, right? Young girls and young boys as well. Right.
I think it's really important. I think that when I have memories of Wash Day, they are tough. I mean, it wasn't fun at all. They sat you next to the stove, or they sat you in a room where there was nothing fun happening for you. If I had a twin sister, but if it wasn't her time to get her hair done, she didn't have to stay. So she'd be playing outside and we would switch. So even with my nieces this past weekend, I rebranded it. We put on all the Disney playlist songs. And if you were getting your hair done, then you were performing and singing along. Mm-hmm. You gave us a show while my niece is getting her hair done. She's deep conditioning, but she's got turbans on. She's very zhuzh. You're painting your nails while you're getting your hair done. Your sister is painting your nails. So you're prettying it up. You're getting a whole vibe. We listen to audio books, and we got little cake pops, and literally my niece said, "This is the best day ever."
I know.
That for Wash Day.
I know.
Have you heard that for Wash Day?
No.
But I'm claiming that. And I did the same for, 4C curly girls we got together and they had turbans. We had coloring pages of girls with curly hair. It was empowering. So I created this book to take us on an adventure. And each book in the series should go to a new place. The title of the book is Here We Go.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. And she's going to Cape Town. Zoe's going to Cape Town now. I actually have a custom doll. Go with Zoe. Yeah, this great company, Harper Iman Dolls, made a custom doll. And I love her. I think she's adorable. She's coily. She's linen. And so we're going to read with our little Zoe doll.
Oh, I love that. So let me not take up any more of your time, and I'm going to take myself off the screen so we can hear your story in this journey as you are sharing this exciting process of just embracing our hair in Africa as well. Super excited. So I'm going to let you take over, and then at the end, I'll come back.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, girlfriends, let's go on an adventure. Here we go. I like to take a deep breath right before just to get ourselves ready for the story. We've got a little Zoe doll here. We've got our book. And let's take a breath. Double dips, desserts, and drones. Fruit and ice cream have a special place in my heart. Imagine dinner and dessert in your hand. On my left, fries made from fruit. Auntie grills the breadfruit with honey and butter, magically making sweet honey bun flavored fries. I like to dip my ice cream. I like to dip it into my ice cream, which would be in my right hand. Double stacked poached guava ice cream, just like the shops make them in Joburg. I had it for the first time when Auntie took me to South Africa last summer to teach me how she tracked down her latest treasure. All I have to do to get this dream dinner is to run, jump, grab a swinging bar, double flip, and cannonball into a big blue X floating in the pool at Auntie's house. Basic, right? Come on, Zoe, Auntie calls. The fries are getting cold and the ice cream is getting hot. You've done this tons of times. What's the holdup? Well, I reply, before I just did it for fun. Now there's a prize. I really want that breadfruit and ice cream. I know you won't give it to me if I fail my training, so I'm taking my time. Auntie laughs. You got that right. You'll have to earn it today. You got this, though. You're amazing. Do it. Light on my toes, I hop from right to left. Fries and ice cream. Fries and ice cream. You're stalling. You're nervous about earning the treats. You're worried about earning your first mission. You're ready. Go, Auntie says. My fingers are twitchy. I look down, opening and closing them, trying to take my control back. I hold my breath as I race towards the jump line. I try to pause, but I'm going too fast to stop. Stumbling over my own feet, I belly flop into the pool. My head pops out of the water. I climb up the ladder, muttering to myself. Auntie lifts a finger to point, but I put one hand up as I pass her by. She nods. I stomp back to the starting flag. Ready? Auntie asks. Stand tall, fluff up my curly puff ponytail, and eye the floating X. This move is going to be so good, I'm going to name it the Zoom Boom Zoe Special. Ready? Zoom! I rush towards the pool and blast off into the air, reaching out for the bar. I grab it and push my legs forward to swing higher and higher. Auntie claps. Good stuff, coffee cup. You have to swing out pretty far to hit that X. But this time, stay in control, or you're going to spin out again. Lifting my head to eye the X, I tighten my grip and swing out one more time to fly into the air. My arms cross over my chest as I twirl into the wind, tuck into a ball right over my mark and shout, boom, as I smack the floating blue X with a splash. Water rushes into my ears. Its warbling sound pushes out all the noise. I smirk. Playtime. I plunge down to the pool, slide along the bottom, and chase the bright sunbeams racing along its base. I glance up to track Auntie standing poolside. Light reflects on the ripples above, blurring her familiar blue trainer's tunic. My lungs burn for air. I crouch into a corner, Launch up and I'm showered with Auntie's applause as I break the surface. Auntie claps and whistles. The Zoom Zoe special is a hit. Who's ready to eat? Afterward, we can have hair time under our tree, and I can tell you all about my last adventure while I style your hair. Yeah, you can even help me pick my first adventure, Auntie. Dun, 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 dun. Pass the hair butter and tilt your head so I can get these parts straight, Auntie says while running a comb from my nose to my neck and gliding the grease along the part. As Auntie begins another cornrow, I lean back, pat the grass, feeling for my tablet. My fingers slide along the gemstone cover she gave me when I officially became a traveler. Auntie begins each hair time with a story of the travelers. You come from a family of magical travelers, though, she begins. We have quests all over Africa searching for treasure to bring back, which tell a story of the people and the places we've been. Travelers, like the other tribes of our mystical bloodline, are connected to the energy of the universe. We connect to the earth element. Auntie pauses to tap my left ear. Turn your head so I can get this next braid. I tilt my head and frown as Auntie tugs on the tangle. Ouch! Auntie bends down to rub my head and place a kiss on my temple. Sorry, buddy. I had to untangle a knot. I pluck a lily and pull on Auntie's pant leg. Do you have to tell the story of the travelers every hair time? I've heard the story a bazillion times. Auntie snatches the flower from my hand, tickles my ear with it, and I giggle. Yes, you're going to hear this story over and over again. We are storytellers. This is how we pass on our history. This is what we do, love, Auntie says, ruffling my puff. Right now, you're looking for the next adventure, and this tablet is the key. Actually, it's the tablet cover, I interrupt. I know this story by heart. Right, go on, Auntie confirms as she spritzes my hair with water and runs it through my curls. It's encrusted with colorful stones, I continue, pointing to the multicolored marbles. It's these stones that take me all over the world with a touch and a chant. You remember, Auntie exclaims, as she leans over to part and prep the next section of hair. How do you choose the next traveling stone for your adventures? I lean my head onto Auntie's knee and close my eyes. This is my favorite part. She glides the cool shea butter across my scalp, smoothing the sugary, sweet butter into my skin. I listen quietly for a sound, the song of the stone. Each time I travel, one special stone sings, and that's how I know which one to pick, I answer. Very good, Auntie praises. She leans back onto the tree and waves her hands across the sky. The call of the stone is the universe pointed to a place where an important event is happening. That's how travelers know that there's treasure to be found. Treasure isn't some precious stone. It can be as simple as a brick from an ancient building that's being torn down. The treasure is in the tale it tells. Your hair's finished. Pass me the oil so I can make it sparkle like the night sky. Auntie drips oil onto her palms and glides them over my braids and across my tapered undercut, smoothing it from temple to a point at my nape. She swirls whipped shea into my undercut coils, cups my face, and kisses my cheeks to finish. Time's up, coffee cup. Take a look. I look into the mirror and smile. My head feels light and tight and fresh. Bold gold string weaves through my cornrows. I grab a handful of the braids and breathe in. My hair smells like Sunday morning pudding. I love it, Auntie. Me too, coffee cup. Let's snap a pic of our first Here We Go hairstyle. Here we go? Yeah, because right after this hair time, you're going on an adventure. So here we go. Cute, right? Yeah, Auntie, it's cute. I hold up my tablet. I pick the crown filter. Auntie leans into the frame. Ooh, you have Beyonce's and I have Basquiat's. Prop it up and switch on the timer so we can get our tree in there. As I angle the tablet, I see sable-skinned kids stop next to my yard, cheering as they race their drones through the air, weaving through the baobab branches, whizzing past our compound. The timer's set, Auntie. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Whoa. Auntie snatches me to her chest, covering me with her body while flipping her jacket over our heads to hide our faces. The drones hover overhead, then glide past. I unfold and glance at Auntie. Hunters? Auntie stares at the distant drones, drumming her fingers across her knee. Maybe. Her eyes snap to me. I counted 5 kids, but only 4 drones. I shrug, picking grass out of my braids. Maybe one was just watching. Everything is in life and death, Auntie. Sometimes kids playing is just kids playing. Turn trainer mode off for a while, I say, patting my arm with a grin. Maybe join a football team. That tackle was crazy strong. Do I still have an arm? I can't feel it. Auntie laughs and shakes her head. Let's go inside so you can pick up stones, though. I reach for the tablet and my fingers twitch. Not again, I sigh. Auntie pops up and reaches out a hand to lift me. Come with me. It's time I showed you the reason we travelers go on our adventures. I'm taking you to the Traveler's Library. The end. At the end of the chapter. This is a very long book, so we're only going to read a piece of it, but I hope you really enjoy it, and I hope you're excited to join Zoe on her adventure.
I absolutely loved it. And there's one comment that came up, and it was the same statement that I was going to make. It's from Gerald Jackson, our author. He came twice to read his book. It says, if we don't share our story, history will be lost. Let your story be heard, which I love, because just hearing your the section in your book, it just talked about not just hair, but the journey. And like, I love how you incorporate like the history behind Africa and the journey behind the beauty about telling a story just in general. And a lot of times that I remember when I was getting my hair done, that's how I connected with my mom. Like, she used to tell me stories, right? Because you have so much time. You have to get your hair done. So that, go ahead.
I think it's a perfect time, just as like you were saying, and that's why it was important for me to have Zoe have hair time, begin the book. We're constantly going to be going back to it. This is a time where we can reinforce ourselves and our culture. It's very similar to what we experience as the kitchen table, where you decompress at the end of the day, you experience, you share with your family what challenges, what wins you had, you learn what to do the next day. Well, next time in school, when she says, you learn those things very naturally and organically. Yeah. But it's a tradition that is placed on purpose, it's purposeful. And her sitting behind the tree with the shade, the tree has such symbolism for our cultures. Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to layer it and help people experience the beauty in hair time and what we can turn it into.
That's so true, especially nowadays. We spend so much of our time just being on our phone or easily distracted. I didn't even I never really noticed the importance of that quality time you get, whether you're at the hair salon or whether it's a family member doing your hair. It's a very intimate time, right? Because you spend so much time. Yeah, that's very true.
I know that when, my mother passed when I was 7.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah. So I got 2 things from that. I hadn't had many people do my hair since then. So when it actually happened, I was getting my hair braided. So I went to an African braiding shop. I'm getting my hair braided. And just having a woman who's older than me do my hair, mm-hmm. I really cried. I had to stop. I was like, get it together, Thalia. Now pull it together. But it felt so loving.
Wow. You know?
And I have been doing, I remember after my mother passed, my daddy tried to do our hair. And he did my twins' hair first. And she looked in the mirror, screamed, cried, and then ran to the back of the closet and would not come out. So I had to climb into the back of the closet.
Wow.
The hair tools and do her hair in the dark.
Wow.
Began me doing hair and realizing how I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but she smiled afterwards and it was healing. And to me, I realized that this is where we nurture ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we affirm. I knew what hair felt, what curly hair needed to feel like, what healthy hair needed to feel like. I understood the routine by actually touching, and experiencing it. So I think it was important for me to create a story where there's a stable skinned girl with kinky hair who's enjoying her hair. She sees all kinds of characters with crazy hair. You'll see them. And she's enthralled with Africa. And it's a magical place that we keep saying is magical. And I didn't want it to be Wakanda, which I love. Honey, I'm a Wakandan. But I didn't want it to be the fact that the only time Africa is magical is when it's in a mystical place that doesn't exist. I really wanted to bring back, your hair is a superpower. Zoe will have these, experiences. And later in the series, you'll recognize all the superpowers that come with it. So that's what I wanted to embrace and highlight.
I can literally sit here and talk to you for hours about hair and the journey, loving it, embracing it, being comfortable, and finally just creating your own, story behind it, because each style has its own story behind it. Right?
Everybody has their own
Right, a little zhuzh, like you talked about in the book. But we're getting I'm getting a lot of text message asking, where can I buy this book? So can you please tell us where we could purchase this book?
Yes. Here we go, curlygirladventures.com.
So as you can see, I think we did share the website in the comment section. Steve, I believe, shared it, but it's scrolling down. If you can see it on our banner, it's Here We Go, curlygirladventure.com. Oh, here we go. It's in the comment section as well. You could purchase her book. You can learn more about her work. And this is such an important book. And I love that how you're starting early with educating young adults or young girls and young boys about just embracing your natural hair and also learning how to nurture it, because that's an important part as well.
It is. And actually, I don't know if this is this first edition, so it may not have it, but the beautiful thing is, bonus that you get, parents, is there is a hair tutorial at the end.
Oh.
So if you'll see, there'll be a picture of a hairstyle. It will be Zoe. This first one, this Cape Town one that you're seeing, will have this hairstyle, the ponytail, and there'll be pictures on how to create this style. So it'll have the supplies you need, pictures on how to do it, and you can color that page in. So this is the coloring page while your curly girl is getting her hair done, while your curly boy is getting his hair done. This is something they can color in, but it's also a tutorial. So they're reading the book and you're looking like, so every book you're going to get a hairstyle. You'll learn different styles. And I think that's important for curly girls and for curly parents. Parents of curly children, because there are parents who do not have curly hair, who have curly hair children, and you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to maintain it. You don't know what styles to do. So I want to, and hair time encompasses all of it, right? It's the storytelling, it's the hairstyling, and when you feel as though you're going to look a wrecked mess after, you don't want that life. So I wanted to give something that empowered parents as well.
Oh, I love it.
It's a teamwork effort. So every Here We Go book comes with a hair tutorial in the back. And I hope you color it and enjoy it.
I'm going to purchase it. I can't wait to read all the stories. We're grateful for you for taking time to chat with us. Again, like I said, I literally could spend hours talking to you about this, and I'm sure a lot of our audience are also interested. And the other thing I love about your book, which you mentioned toward the end, is it's for parents.
Yes.
Which it's an education piece as well. And I love how you incorporated that, the different hairstyles and the different styles that they could do with it. Because confidence really does start. If I'm having a bad hair day, it just ruins everything. So it's
and that's true. Now, the beautiful thing about being a curly girl is we look fabulous in a head wrap. So toss it up under a head wrap if it's not working. But you need to know how to work your hair. I think that some part of our the hole in our confidence is sometimes you look in the mirror and you're just like, I don't know what to do. And it comes with learning what your hair can do as opposed to what you wish it could do. And planning. Curly girls need to plan their hair like a painting. You sketch it out first. And you plant. So if you think of our hair the same way we think of art and nature, the tension begins to release and melt away, and you get to enjoy those things. So I wanted to put and then she did have tangles in her hair, so we did have tangles too. So she's not different than us.
Yeah, she's very relatable.
And I was hoping that after, I love your feedback because I wanted people to want to go on an adventure.
Yeah.
And good memories to start with.
Yes, good memories. Because this is who we are. So I completely agree. And again, seriously, I'm like have so many different topics that I want to talk to you about. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We have shared her website where you can purchase the book. Steve is back. He was in the background like, so much hair talk. We love it. We were just
we're all thinking about our hair these days. That's where we all maybe some of us took it for granted a little more than we did, but definitely.
Yes. So we have shared the website where you can purchase the book. I'm super excited. I'll be purchasing my book. Thank you again, Thalia, so much for your book, your knowledge, and like for making it like a journey, because that's what it is. It's a process. It's not just an overnight thing. So love it. We have a comment. It says, my trolls are based mostly on humidity. Yes, same here. The weather really determines the type of hair I'm going to have. So I can relate with you, Carla.
You wake up and your hair what it's doing. That's what you do.
Yeah, you just kind of follow it. You just follow it. Because Lord knows, I have watched way too many YouTube videos. I'm like, it's not coming out like how they did it. So anyways.
And I think that that's a big deal. I've done tutorials, and I have a YouTube challenge called Test That Tutorial, where I try tutorials and lots of people who have like million views. But you realize that different textures can achieve a look, and then my hair is like, wah, wah, and I'm like, okay, now how can we judge this?
Yeah, judge. I like it. How can we judge this? That's what we're doing today.
Become a master of judging.
Yeah. It's empowering. So thank you again, everyone. Sorry for chit-chatting for so long because I was Let's hopefully you enjoyed it as well. We'll be back Monday for our meditation, right, Steve?
Yeah, Monday meditation at 8 a.m. And then we'll also be back on, let's see, we have a reader on Monday. I'll pull up right here. I'll also the name. That's Eli Prosper, and he'll be coming on Monday. So we're excited to hear from him then, too. And we'll let you know. Look for our post tomorrow and over the weekend, where we'll be posting all about that on all of our social media channels, letting you know what's coming up for the coming week. And again, you can also go back to our YouTube channel to watch everything from yesterday. I put the link in the comments. And you can also find this broadcast on YouTube as well as Facebook, but YouTube's easier to find. And you can also find our guest's YouTube channel. Just search for her name on YouTube and give her a follow as well. She has some great videos up there too.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you Monday. Thank you, Thalia.
Thank you. Bye, girlfriend.